So I was a little bit hesitant to make this video about surfing Makaha, but after talking to a couple local guys at the beach out here on the west side, they told me it would be alright to talk about surfing Makaha safely and respectfully, but maybe not talk about some of the other local spots out here on the west coast of Oahu, Hawaii. This is a presentation of Stafford Surf School. Please subscribe to my channel. While hundreds of surfers scurry like roaches to the North Shore every winter in an attempt to prove themselves in front of the cameras, the locals of Makaha on the west side of Oahu sit docile and happy in their beach chairs, plucking ukuleles, roasting pigs, and holding luau's right on the beach. Why wouldn't they? Their entire families are there, and their families too. A half-century since the Makaha International earned it worldwide acclaim, 60 years since it was considered the heaviest new frontier in the Hawaiian Islands, Makaha is still the place that embodies the Hawaiian spirit in its purest essence. A deeply familial place, Makaha is made up of several simply named spots: the Point, the Bowl, the Blowhole, and the Inside Reef, all turning on with varying degrees throughout the years. The most revered wave, though, is Makaha Point. The point breaks only when a long interval pulse is too big for the North Shore to hold. When the proper forces align, giant northwest swells travel southward, wrapping around Kaena Point, and once in a lifetime maybe, those swells form gargantuan 20 to 40 foot monsters pitching off the point, screaming through the bowl, and ending in the channel. When it's big and it's on, Makaha Point is considered by some to be the longest big wave spot in the world. What makes the break different from big wave locales like Waimea Bay or Todos Santos is the infamous bowl, a frighteningly unpredictable slab of ocean lining up to send even the best surfers in the world flying. After making the drop at the point, the rider must take on the bowl. Kicking out is not an option since the wave's moving so fast and a pantheon of sets are bound to be behind it. On days like this, Makaha is as big and as scary as any wave in the world. In 1969, famous big wave charger Greg the Bull Knoll almost drowned following a severe wipeout in what was estimated as being 45 to 50 foot point surf. He was so shook up, in fact, he almost quit surfing and refused to discuss the experience for some time afterward. Classic big days like these are rare in Makaha. In general, the place receives great wind conditions, but not a whole lot of consistent, well-angled swells. Even more rare than giant point surf is witnessing someone ride the wave successfully from point to channel. Those who perform this feat are given instant hero status and admittance into the elite group known as the Point Screamers. In her typical warm-hearted light, the late Rail Sun, the Queen of Makaha, started a contest in Makaha for locals before her death in 1998 to help pass on the Makaha surfing legacy to West Side. Makaha in the native Hawaiian language means fierce or the gate, depending on who you ask. And when you see a big swell on the west side, you understand why they call this place fierce. When you feel the spiritual energy or mana of Makaha, and you understand the significance of the nearby Kaena Point in Hawaiian mythology and history, you understand why it is called the Gate. The west side of Oahu is known for its localism and for being protected, understandably in my opinion. West Oahu is some of the most beautiful land and ocean I've ever seen in my life. The locals that surf Makaha are very good. You can be a great surfer in California, be local and all that, but once you get out to the west side, it's a whole different story. The best piece of advice I can give you about out here on the west side is that if you show respect to both the people and the land, you will get respect back. But if you come out to the west side looking for a problem, especially in Makaha, you will find it there. What I have observed of people surfing at Makaha Beach is that the bigger the waves get, the farther out the waves will break towards the point at Makaha. You have a deep water channel to the south of the Makaha point that if you ever get into a heavy situation, you can always paddle into the channel as quickly as possible if you are about to get mopped and you are too far inside by a monster set. Another advantage of the channel is the ability to paddle out through the channel and not have to take 100 waves on the head to get to the main peak. But be advised, the main peak and the best waves are reserved for the local legends that surf the break every time the waves get good. If you don't look like you can hang, or if, say, for example, you are sitting too far inside in the takeoff zone, right where the locals surf through, somebody in the lineup will tell you to go back to the beach. If that happens out there in the lineup in Makaha, I highly recommend you take their advice. Violence is common out here, and fights do break out over perceived disrespect. And if you paddle out and start getting in people's waves, or taking people's waves, such as dropping it on other people, etc., problems will happen. But if you are respectful and bring good vibes and not try to be a hot shot out there and take every single good wave that comes through, and you wait your turn, eventually some uncle out there will tell you to go. And when it is your turn and when uncle tells you to go, you go. Thank you for listening to this presentation from Stafford Surf School, and I hope you subscribe to my channel and like.